That is the sound of a bad starter drive, which needs to be replaced. Well, I got the old one out and the new one in. I don't know if you're not familiar with these, you know, this is the starter drive for a Delco starter, but these are what is called a sprag clutch, where they're made to turn one way and freewheel the other way, or they're sometimes called an overriding clutch. And I think Ford called them the Bendix drive. Works like the coaster brake on a bike, but this one, it was slipping on the back, so she turned back. So I got a new one in, and the way these work, you normally it's sitting back here, flywheel right here. When you hit the starter, it energizes the solenoid, which is a big relay and electromagnet that pulls on this plunger, kicks the gear into engagement, and then it'll drive it. But then as soon as the vehicle starts, it does the override thing. But they go back eventually, and the funny part was, when I went in to buy one, so I just had to be in town, so I figured, well, I'll get a new starter drive, because it was slipping once in a while, especially when the vehicle was warm. Because, like I said, there's just little rollers in there. Well, I went to Napa, and I was very much surprised to hear, well, they don't sell those anymore. You have to buy a whole starter. You know, they love to do that. You know, replace the whole unit rather than just replace that simple part. Well, there was no way I was going to do that. So then I went down to the Fleet Farm, and here for, I think it was $18, you can get starter drive, the new snap ring and the bushings and the brushes. You know, the whole damn set that fits many, many years of GM vehicles. Almost anything that uses a Delco starter. But $18 for something that they quit making in theory. But then, actually, when I got home, I started thinking, you know, I got a bunch of these laying around. I was at an auction sale one time that it was an old service station that was going out of business, and they were selling off just endless fan belts and voltage regulators and all that, boxes full of them. And I had bought a box of starter drives. Well, I dug through that and I found I had a brand new Delco starter drive. But normally, you know, that's like a $12 item. And to make you have to buy a whole replacement starter, that seems ridiculous to me. But she's ready to go now. We'll just put the solenoid back on. These can be tricky. You know, when these go bad, they're a nuisance, but they generally last pretty good. And I think I got spares of them laying around. But rather than, you know, I didn't put the brushes in. Like I say, I got them all and stuff, but I'm not going to do a major overhaul on it. Just put the drive in. It should be raring to go again. And that is the sound of a healthy starter drive. Good job to have done.